Hello, my name is Nico Z, and I just want to share with you my testimony about our Lord Jesus Christ. I saw him 3 times. The first time I saw him was over 12 years ago. I fell into a trance, and when I fell into this trance, I got up. It felt so real, so vivid. I walked to the lounge of my home and I stood on the entryway, and I recall seeing Jesus sitting on the couch and the lights were on everywhere. And then my older brother was sitting opposite him, and I remember my older brother looked at Jesus, and then he was also shocked. He said to me, "Why is Jesus doing here in our home?" And I remember my mouth opened and the voice of God came out of my mouth. Jesus spoke through me to answer my brother. And he said, "I have come to bring what is dead to life." And straight after I said these words that came from God, I turned around, went back to lay down, and then I woke up from the trance. That was my first time seeing Jesus. The second time was back in 2019. I had a near-death experience. I almost died. I felt like my soul was about to leave my body. And I was praying to God, and I felt His presence in the room. And then all of a sudden, I had a vision, an open vision of our Lord Jesus Christ on the cross at Calvary. I saw Him hanging on the cross, a wooden tree. His hands were both nailed to the cross, His feet also. I saw His bones. They were whiter than snow. And also His flesh was broken piece by piece, blood dripping. He died a horrific death. And I remember my eyes zoomed into His eyes, and it was bulging, those red veins. And I saw this grayish substance surrounding His iris. And it was such a very hard vision to see, because He looked disfigured, deformed, and it was so hard. And I remember weeping, crying when I saw Him at the cross. After that vision, I had another vision of our Lord, an open vision, a trance-like vision back in 2020 that led me to write a book about Jesus. And this vision was so profound that my whole life changed thereafter. I remember it was on the afternoon during the lockdowns. I was reading through the gospel books. And as I was reading, I was laying down on a mattress. I was going through huge financial difficulty. And all of a sudden, I see a man walk into my room. I look up, and lo and behold, it's Jesus. I knew it was Him. I was in shock. I froze as I looked at Him, and He looked back at me, and He spoke the words that He spoke in the gospel to the man at the pool of Bethsaida, and also to the woman who was afflicted with an infirmity for 18 years. He first said to me, "Woman, thou art loosed." And then He said, "Get up, pick up your mat and walk." When he spoke these words to me, I knew that he was speaking in Aramaic, but it was translated to me in English. So I was listening to what he was saying. I knew that what he was saying clearly, and I got up, I ran out of the room, and I looked for a piece of paper and I began drawing his face. I drew our Lord Jesus' face and I made it the cover of my book. At that time, I was working on a book series titled Sui Generis, which is about people embracing their Christ-given identity. And it talks about how we find purpose and true fulfillment in this life when we look to Jesus as the one who gives us an identity. You know, we are called to be like him on the earth. And I detail all this in my book series, which I've published on Kindle. Let me show you the cover of the image I drew of our Lord Jesus Christ when I had that open vision in 2020. This is the book. I don't know if you're able to see it properly. I hope you do. Place it nicely. I've been trusting God for this opportunity to share these wonderful 3 encounters that I had with our Lord. And it's not been easy. I've had so many setbacks, demonic attacks from Satan himself, and also from demons such as Dagon, Leviathan, even ancient Egyptian false gods like Nubis. I had terrible encounters, times where I had strange people appearing